right, Shalom. We're going to continue with the lesson on dinosaurs and the Leviathan in Psalms 104 and 25.
Psalms 104 and 25. So is the great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts.
So it's a great wide sea where creeping things are innumerable, meaning you can't count. You can't count how many things are in the sea because there's things that haven't been explored yet.
Yeah, there was a video of Moabites fishing and they had a fish with crab arms on it.
Oh yes, that was crazy.
That's crazy. I've never seen that. Or rainbow colored fish.
Or what's the other one with the light in front of it?
Oh yeah, the angler fish.
Yeah, there you go. That one was crazy though. Sharp teeth and the light, man. That tells you, man, the Most High, he does things like the way he does them though. Creative. Look at the giraffe with his long neck. That's the only power from the Most High,
And he makes the things that he creates work.
So when they made that movie Godzilla, this is where they got it from. They got it from the scriptures.
Because Esau can't create anything. He's not imaginative.
Not creative.
Also that movie Clash of the Titans.
Oh,
you know.
That's
So read the next one.
Psalm 104 and 26. There go the ships, there is that Leviathan which thou hast made to play therein.
So it's talking about, there go the ships, and the ships are in the sea. And the Leviathan, it says sea monster or dragon, perhaps the extinct dinosaur.
That's where they get the, was that Kraken?
The Kraken. Yeah,
There you go, the Kraken though. The Crash of the Time.
And then also it says,
hey, they all want to know what it looks like. You're gonna see.
also it says crocodile, because if you stand up a crocodile, it looks like Godzilla, because of the back, how the back looks with the scales, because it said a rest animal, a reef.
Crocodile this time, man, but this is like Godzilla though.
Iguanas do. There's something called a Komodo dragon.
The saliva is so poisonous that whatever it licks the top animal, it kills it. So when it bites it, it just dies because it just
Yeah, it just bites it and then lets it die right there.
Yeah. The saliva is so poisonous though. So that's what I'm telling you, like the Most High is created with this animal.
It's down.
But the reason why you don't see it right now is because the Most High, he's holding it back until the right time.
Yeah, but he lets you see things like Steve Irwin got killed by that stingray, got stung in the chest.
Yeah, the heart on the.
And right in the heart.
Got him right, yeah, in the heart.
Perfect. When people always say, oh, that was a lucky hit. No, that was precise.
Yeah, because it hit the heart, but anything else, the heart, straight the heart,
Yeah.
Could have hit his shoulder, his face had his face, but it hit directly the heart,
26 and 27.
Psalm 104, 26 and 27. There go the ships, there is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season.
So these wait upon the Lord. What's it saying? These, the Leviathan, that thou may givest them their meat in due season. That means this Leviathan, he's gonna eat.
He's gonna eat
What's he gonna eat? He's gonna eat people.
corpses.
That's great, man. To say, like you guys brothers say, the world seeing the chariots come, and then you seen Godzilla, and then like seeing all these
fucking Libras with cows.
Yeah.
These
Motherfuckers are here, like I can only imagine Esau seeing that.
Hey, what's going to blow him away is that all the things that are attacking the whole world are going to get out of our world.
Yeah.
That's
bears.
the thing.
Yeah, the bears are going to be scared of, us though. Man.
They're going to be in full rampage mode, and we're going to be like 20 miles away, and they're going to notice. You know, that's why they're going to be so fierce, because they're going to notice, oh, Yahushua's on the plate. No, I got to get my shit in.
Yeah,
He said he promised us a meal. The scripture said right here.
32. Ezekiel 32:1. And it came to pass that in the 12th year, in the 12th month, in the first day of the month, that the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation for Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and say unto him, Thou art like a young lion of the nations, thou art as a well in the seas, and thou camest forth with thy rivers, and troublest the waters with thy feet, and flowest their rivers.
So right here, the Lord is comparing Pharaoh to that great monster in the sea. Because go to Ezekiel 29:2. Because it's saying that he's like the king of the sea. Like Godzilla, he's the king of monsters.
Ezekiel 29:2. Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all Egypt. Speak and say, thus said the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of these rivers, which hath said, My river is mine own, I have made it for myself. Let me get that over here. Ezekiel 29:3. Speak and say, Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, thy power, Behold, I am against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And now he's comparing him to the great dragon. The great dragon that lieth in the midst of his rivers, which hath said, My river is mine own, and I have made it for myself.
So he's comparing the Leviathan to Pharaoh, because Pharaoh, he's saying, I'm like the king of these waters. You know, I'm like the king of the river.
So say I'm the king of the jungle, like
when you're those times when you're king of the river, that's the most that's the best soil to have around the water. You can grow anything. Not only that, you can take things from point A to point B through the water.
So, yeah.
You can make a lot of money through the water.
That's why the Arabs, when they're selling us to the Grecians, the slave, you know what I mean? The slave trade, they're making money because it was like north of Africa, Greek, you know, and being profit out of the slavery of us, you know.
Keep going.
But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick unto thy scales, and I will bring thee up of the midst of thy river, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick unto thy scales.
So he's gonna catch them like we catch fish, you know, with a hook. But the Leviathan, you can't catch him with a hook, because back in Job it says, who can catch the Leviathan with a hook or something like that. He's talking about Esau, because today Esau is Pharaoh, you know, and he's going to drag him out of this land. So go to Isaiah 58:8.
There's Isaiah 58:8. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy house shall bring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. The glory of the Most High shall be thy reward.
Isaiah 51:8.
51:8. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation.
It said for the moth. You know, when it says moth, it's talking about the behemoth. Because, let me look up this word for moth. Because he said this moth is going to eat the garments. You know, it's going to eat our clothes. So it just says moth. But we know it's talking about the behemoth because
Isaiah 51:8. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation.
so the Leviathan's gonna eat them like clothes, and after that the worms are gonna eat them. You know, because they're just gonna be dead corpses. So that Ezra 6:49.
Second Ezra 4:59.
Second Ezra 6:49.
Second Ezra 6:49. Then didst thou ordain two living creatures, one called Enoch and the other Leviathan.
So he said, you made two creatures, one called Enoch, the other called Leviathan. Read it again.
Second Ezra 6:49. Then didst thou ordain two living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch and the other Leviathan.
So one's Enoch and the other's Leviathan. One's a human and the other is that sea monster. Keep going.
And didst separate the one from the other for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. So that means that we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know, because if you watch the Flintstones, these motherfuckers have brontosaurus burgers,
Oh, yeah.
big old fucking giant ribs on their cars. And they couldn't live together.
Yeah.
The one would kill the other. That shows you that there's separation in how it's worked. He wants you to be separated. And did separate the one from the other for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both.
Yeah, like the brother said, they separated them, one for the sea and one for the land. You know? Keep going.
51. And unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the third day, and that he should dwell in the same part wherein are 1,000 hills.
Now, remember last week I went into Enoch, and there's two Enochs in the Bible. The first Enoch, he was a heathen. You know, he was a son of the wicked. But the second Enoch, he was a righteous man who got saved. Now, this is talking about the first Enoch, because it's saying, unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the third day. Now, the third day is when he made the earth. He dried up the land, you know. He separated the waters.
You gotta be it's gotta be like one big part of it. Because this is something special. You gotta know the whole history. Without knowing the whole history of the planet, you know the whole history of the planet by knowing the Bible.
So it said,
And this separate the one from the other, for the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both.
Unto Enoch thou gavest one part which was dried up the third day, that he should dwell in the same part when are 1,000 hills. And where does Esau live? He lives in all these hills. You know, Beverly Hills.
LA, they got LA. Yeah, they got their houses up on the hills. They can see
Yeah,
that.
before the any coast.
Yeah. You in Piston, you go to Piston, they see that the houses, you don't need a mice here. It's expensive to live out there.
Read that one.
Genesis 1:17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
So this is Enoch. Cain had a son Enoch, and he built a city and called that city after his name. Just like these Edomites do. You know, they own cities, and then they call it after their name.
In the streets,
You know?
schools.
So that's how you know this is talking about Esau.
But unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt, and when.
But to Leviathan he gave him the moist. The moist is the sea. The seventh part, because that's like mostly
More water in there.
there's more water than earth.
And there's 7 oceans, right?
7 seas.
Exactly, yeah, 7 seas. Fuck.
So this Leviathan is talking about Esau.
Hey, and also make note, it mentions the one part. So at one time the earth was one part.
It was
It was just one
Big.
piece of dirt.
Yeah.
Then it got separated.
Yeah.
But we're gonna find out all that. We're gonna see that movie play, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna play, yeah.
You're gonna see the
Formation, the
earth.
foundations.
Yeah. That's the movie you want to watch, you know? And that's what, because you see the movie Godzilla, right? It's always Esau's technology going against Godzilla. You know what I mean? They're saying Enoch versus Leviathan, you know?
And if you ever
That's
watch
scary.
Godzilla, the King of the Monsters, Esau has the technology where he took the brain of Nora and put it into a Megazilla. So he made a mechanical Godzilla that was like fucking 2 times bigger than Godzilla. Man, and Godzilla had a hell of a time. He had to recruit King Kong to help his ass.
Oh, no shit.
That movie's tight. You should watch it.
So it's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah. That's my favorite movie. My woman be like, man, watch that shit.
Yeah. I said that, yeah, so HBO Max.
Don't ask me to pick a movie. I'm gonna pick that movie. That or Brightburn or Upgrade. You ever seen Upgrade? It's the one with the chip. He's a paraplegic, and then he puts the chip in, and then he starts being badass. He starts fighting.
I'll check that one out too.
That was bad.
I like that PowerPoint too, Jamie Foxx.
They're all pretty good movies. They have some truth to them.
No, I know that Brightburn does the one with that's Will Smith, right?
Brightburn is the one with this kid that plays Superman. Like, they put in Superman with him. Brightburn, Superman with kills a lot of people. Like he has fantasies of standing on skulls and shit. He wants to take over the world.
Well, they're coming with that Black Adam.
Oh yeah, Black Adam.
I want to
Yeah.
see that one with
That
The
one.
Rock. The Rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's I made a video. It's like how was shy right there, you know, coming back, fuck shit up, you know.
That's gonna be a good one. Oh, and then the best one's gonna be the Second Coming.
Oh,
What's
the
his face?
Mel
Bill
Gibson? Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
That's gonna be something.
And it's you know that's the spirit because you know it's about time right now when that movie's coming out, you know, these times though, you know. So it's crazy though. That's just
This will be the last one. Job 41.
Job 41 and 1. And now draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down.
So we can't do anything against this sea monster, Godzilla. We can't fish him out like we go fishing. You know, we can't catch him. The only one that can catch him is the Lord.
There's no way to catch him.
But the Lord uses him as a pet. You know? Because read verse 5.
Will thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens?
Are you gonna try to play with them? You know?
And the creature that was used like that a lot or a pheasant. They had beautiful feathers, so they would capture them. And how they would catch them, they would catch the first one, tie it up on a string, let it go wild, and then another rooster can't resist to fight it and try to kill it because he wants to take his bitches. So they end up fighting him. When they're fighting, the white man just came up to them and picked them up because he was so fucking amazing fighting.
Not even the military can catch him. You know?
Man, can you imagine that?
What are they gonna do? Try to nuke him? You know?
Try to bring the Bible to them and try to teach these Christians up. They had, I seen the King Kong, they had him chained up on the boat and everything.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
That's the one? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I seen a little part of it, though, a little snippet of it, though, but...
Hey, that's man.
You know, because he actually breathes fire. You know?
Let me give 6. Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants?
Are you gonna be able to cook him? You know?
Was it merchants try to sell it? You know what I mean?
How do you do that?
Right, so the only thing we could do is to fear the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because he's the one in control of everything in the world.
Yeah. It's like this. You accidentally slipped off the mountain. You're falling all the way down. You say, how about you, Shai, can you stop this from happening? And you'll put a branch there, snag your shirt, and then some helicopter will see you. That's the kind of things that happen.
With the book of Daniel, the three, they didn't even smell like smoke, you know? They would throw them in the fire because they didn't want to worship that.
That demon gave me a big smiley curly teeth. She doesn't get it. They're all gonna understand when this happens.
Yeah, and we can't wait until it happens, you know, and then see their face, they're gonna be all, that smile is gonna be upside down. And
yeah, it's like that movie Chicken Little. The sky's falling, the sky's falling.
They don't believe them. Yeah. Until the chariots, I noticed the same movie, chariots came, it actually came in that world, and started fucking shit up in that world. You know? And it was actually chariots that came because it caused aliens then. So we're pretty much the same, like Chicken Little, you know?
I'll read 8 and 9. Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him?
So if you try to lay your hand upon him, you're gonna remember that battle.
Austin Clark always says that people are going to have a heart attack when they see those spaceships.
Oh yeah, it's old Edomites, you know, they're like, oh shit.
And I'm laughing too.
Fucking crosses dead and shit.
That's going to be fucking funny.
So, you see, well, we're in Pismo, family. I was in the store and we seen it. I see this. We're about to walk out of the store and this old Edomite fell and tripped and boom, hit his head, started busting out, bleeding and shit. And then they're like, oh shit, it happened right in front of us. And the guy that he was with, I was in the store walking out, he was just looking at me. And then I was like, that was just fucking Edomite, you know? And then boom, that happened though. And I was like, oh shit, that's what that motherfucker gets, you know? So you had to pick him up and old man Ben over here bleeding from his forehead. He's all, oh, you know? And then we're just, gotta get a laugh out of it though, you know? But I mean, imagine them catching them heart attacks and actually falling over, boom.
That's real stuff, man. That's real stuff. He didn't trip. He got tricked.
Yeah, because he was just walking along, all of a sudden, boom, his face was on the ground
Yeah.
half a second.
That, and all those old Edomites that go down to the beach to retire, they all fucking ride bikes every day. They're getting good condition. So
Eating good.
this wasn't no accident.
Yeah.
And then his fucking forehead split.
Yeah.
Blood came gushing out. I've been hit so hard, but blood doesn't come out. You know, that shit. Look at me, bro. Can you imagine hitting your head and like, you know, that would ruin your morale?
Yeah, because Edomites, they known for their skin break easy, though, you know? Like, they get hit, boom, they get easy, mostly, so.
Sunburns and all that shit.
Yeah, so their skin, they don't got that melanin, so therefore, like, it just, the blood is just literally, like, right there.
Yeah, you can
Hit
see
that
it.
shit and boom. It's like a water balloon, filling up. You can get at that little needle and just pop. That's Edomite skin right there.
Read verse 13, because it's talking about skin, right?
Job 41 and 13. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle?
That means he got a double layer of armor on him. You know, those scales, nothing can penetrate through it. Because nobody could strip it off, you know?
And man, he's gonna be scary, he's gonna be fierce, fucking shit up. Job 41 and 18. By his neesings a light does shine, and his eyes are like the islands of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out.
Like Godzilla with that breath on the fire.
That's where they get Godzilla from. You know, that's why they made him. He's able to blow fire, you know, because first it like charges up, you know, and you can see it charge up in his eyes too.
And it said neesing, so when he sneezes, fire's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Well, because it comes out of the nose. You know, like a dragon does.
I got the definition on the Wiktionary. Sneezing, it said neezing, but it actually went to sneezing, so that's the definition. Or snort, it could be something like that.
And that's, you know, Edomites, man, they're probably out of, man, Edomites always got to put it in their own way, you know? Because when we talk to an average person about brothers' lessons, well, like, oh, really? God's looking at the Bible, they wouldn't be an average person, you know? But here's Esau, man, taking things out of production and making profit out of it, you know?
Not only does it come out of the Bible, but Leviathan is the tool. Leviathan's going to be used. He has a job to serve. You know, you have a dog and your dog's supposed to take care of your business, guard your sheep. That's Leviathan. He's the guard dog for the Israelites. He's coming out sicking them. Right ball.
Calling these fucking, you know, A12 actors, you know, archangels, gonna hit them and shit. You know, red, fire, you know, that's what it says. It's like War of the Worlds, and Godzilla, all the, you know, like, people ain't ready for that. People ain't desensitized to see that.
Job 41, verses 25 and 26. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that laid at him cannot hold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon.
See, the mighty are going to be afraid. Who's the mighty? That's the military, you know? And it said no sword, no spear, no dart could stop this thing.
Those darts could be those missiles, right?
I go to verse 28. It's talking about missiles.
The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble.
See, the arrows cannot make him flee.
They're gonna shoot missiles at him.
He's gonna eat those. He's gonna eat those missiles. And then he's made of fire, so it's only gonna give him more power. You know?
Yeah, I can't wait.
So with that, you got anything else? that we hope is edifying. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone camp, for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom.
Shalom.